So yes, it's new game. So there's less people like right now. Anyway, I'll just go ahead. So I'm going to have a 20 minutes talk about libraries. It's going to be basically a demo. I'm not going to go too much into the details and everything. As usual, I want to hear from you. So if you have any question, if you have remarks, feedback, and everything, please, raise your hand. I think we can give you a microphone. But anyway, ask and I'll try to answer you. I'll skip the about me. So I'm about libraries. In my opinion, library management, when you do a new schematics, you have new components running everywhere. You spend a lot of time doing library management, going into KiCad, how is it called? Table, yeah, symbol table, footprint table. For each footprint, you also need to edit the 3D model. It's not the most obvious thing obvious. It is simple. It's just time consuming. And especially that people like me, so, you know that I'm a very small company. I usually don't build my symbols or my footprints. I just get them already made. And so as such, I want that to be as fast as possible. So yes, I forgot, but of course, if you have feedback, you can also put it directly on the website. Going a bit more into the problem itself, library management. So as I told you, there is the edition, adding components and everything. So there's been recent progress in KiCad. Like, I was really excited to hear about the idea that we can have a folder of symbols. It's simple, but I think it's great. But moving forward, when I collaborate with other people, with my teammate, usually, let's say the symbol is kind of using a relative path that puts it on the right place. The footprint usually does also. The 3D model is an absolute path and it breaks on my computer. That's what I see the most. It's not the only problem, but it's really hard to keep everything in track, in my opinion. On top of that, if we put that into way more professional settings, but we should of course keep track of every symbol, every footprint that we use. They're critical to the production. So symbols are easily included into the schematics, and they are by default. The footprint is a bit more complex. The 3D models are definitely not. So it's trying to fix everything from the pure library management point of view, not downstream, but really upstream. And of course, the last point is datasheets. Datasheets, there's a datasheet field that probably everyone uses. The two problems that I find with those is that they are remote links. They're meant to be HTTP links, which is nice, but every time you need that datasheet, or every time someone new needs the datasheet, everything, it's going to re-download it. It may not be the same version that you were actually using before, because it might have been updated in the meantime. So I really like my datasheet to be local and versioned together with the rest of whatever I'm doing. So yes, and what's the conclusion? That we should spend more time designing circuits. That's what's cool about electronics. It's not managing libraries. So, all right. So let me talk to you a bit about what I've been playing with in AmpereBrain. So as I told you, it's something very, very early. I've only spent, it's a month and a half of development, so I didn't spend a lot of time doing it. I was just rushing to make a proof of concept of this, to kind of see that everything works together. This part, I've been using it for a year already in the company. The interface was different, everything was different, but that submodule is something that I actually made a while back already. So the lifestyle that I'm basically offering is not something revolutionary new, but the idea that we can download new symbols, new footprints fast. We can ingest them easily. We can organize them fast into a Git repository where doesn't matter where the symbol, the footprint is coming from. Everything is organized the same way. So that it's simple, so that it's clear, and you can organize it whatever where you actually usually organize your libraries in your company or your project. Yes, I was talking about this morning, there's a part about data sheets. So yes, finding the data sheets quickly and processing them so that you can access them fast. And yeah, about the component database, so I'm not going to talk too much about this. It's not the interesting part, but yeah, ultimately we need to be able to ask questions about the data sheet and see where we actually get the answer from that data sheet. So the objective being, we have shareable libraries that works anywhere, whatever, you can just pick the project that you want and your library is working. Let's go to the demonstration. Is there any question already, or should I already demo? All right, so let's demo. Just give me, what am I saying? All right. So I'm probably gonna duplicate my screen. It's gonna be easier. All right, so I'm seeing the same thing as you. So in that, so that's basically AmpereBrain's home screen. If you have been using VS Code or IDE, it's kind of similar. That's the idea. It manages your project, so you open your project from there, not from KiCad. And I'm going to create a new project for the demo. So up, let's call that test icon. Is gonna create it. So this is a new KiCad project. You might have seen. You can also use a template if you have all your custom rules or anything that you always use based on your Fab Lab or anything like this. So that's also the possibilities. Anyway, I'm here. Just if you want to open a schema, that's going to be here. Let me just show something. So what's happening here is that it's actually making the huge commit of the change I did, which is basically a wire, not exactly the most interesting thing, but let's go to the library tab. So right now it's a new project. There's no library configured. So you just enter your Git link of this and basically download it. It's just pulled it from Git. It's a private Git repository, of course, but you can also have a public one, of course. And you have all your libraries here that you have access to in schema or PCB new also. For instance, what can I say? We can create a new library. I mean, there are several ways of organizing libraries. I mean, either you do it, by component types, or you do it by project. I don't know. Some of the components will be common, some other will be specific to a project. So that's really up to you how you want to organize it. So basically, create a new library. It's here. Just turn it active. Then we can add a symbol into it. What can we add? All right, something like this. So that's going to, where is it? All right, so it's here. Just gonna search it. I mean, I'm using gRC PCB a lot for manufacturing. Just sorry I didn't show you, but you can search part from Snapeda, which is of course probably a bit more reputable if you want to download the parts. I think I have time to show you a little bit, but for instance, all right, you want to use this component, you can just go here, select a library. It's in this one. You press download. All right, it's downloaded, and then you can see that in your KiCon project you have this footprint. If you go back to the schema, you can, after everything gets loaded. All right. Well, in theory, it should appear after that loads. So it's this idea that it's fast. I'll accept that part. All right. And of course, use a prefix for your custom libraries, not like I just did, because otherwise you don't know where they are. Yes. So you can see it's here and it's ready to add. If you want to look at the footprint, basically should be there. So it's also the 3D model. Can you access the 3D model from here? Yes, here, right? Yes. And in theory, there should... Oh, it's down there. Hey. And you can see it's a beautiful model that is not centered. Just well, it's a third-party model that happens all the time. So you know what to expect. You need to edit that manually. Also, if you already have your own libraries and you just want to make sure everything is organized the same way, you can just drag and drop your old folders there, and everything will get you'll get into your Git. Just to show you a little bit how it actually gets organized. Sorry, that's the everything gets organized. So you see, basically that's the repository. There's simple symbols file, a footprint, and a 3D model file. Sorry, I didn't show you the data sheet. The data sheet would also get there if there's any. Need to close that. Where is it? So it's loading because there's been some changes. But if you search the data sheet, in theory, it should download and find it. It's not super fast. If you were to my AI talk, that's what AI also looks, and between the search and the parsing, it takes a while. It shouldn't, but it's right now it does. Boom, 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 boom. All right, well. In the meantime, I'm going to, while it search for that, if you want to download it from another place, by the way, there's also distributors. So if you want to check if there's stock for your part or anything like this, you can already check. Could not find the datasheet. I'm not sure my internet connection works that well, so that could be it. But you can just launch a search on whatever distributor you actually use, so that you have a quick access to those. Of course, if you use if you snap it out or something like this, if you want to download it manually, you can also just, I don't know what's another common component we could actually use. Okay, I'm taking a very random one for purpose of demonstration. All right, so you can see it's downloaded. I'm just going to quickly drag and drop. You can see it's a zip file. Normally, if you drag and drop it, you can see that it's already loaded and it already appears here. So it's a very fast. I think I've lost internet here. But yeah, it's a very fast way of having your libraries simply keep in sync with whatever you have. As I say, we don't have a data sheet here, but if we look at I know that in the other part in the test lib, you can see there's also the data sheets that gets loaded. That gets loaded here, so you have access to the PDF as well. The whole idea is that when you okay, I didn't add the component. What happened? All right, when you actually add the component and they have a data sheet, you can actually just get it straight away from the exported PDF, because when KiCad exports everything into a PDF, you have access to all the datasheet directly there. So yeah, it's I don't know why this one is not working, but if we go to this one, that's what I was showing you. Here you have the PDF, but because it's already downloaded, you can just press here so that it opens right away. So it's kind of that combo that everything is in one place, everything gets versioned together, so that you are way more confident about the parts you are using. And I think that was the demo I wanted to do. Let me just check if there's anything else I want to show you. No, that's it. So for that small presentation about libraries, does anyone has questions? Okay, that's a lot of questions. Let's start here in the middle.
In the library, does this check if the symbol or the footprint already exists? Because otherwise, why would you by default use external symbol or footprint if it's already exists in the KiCad libraries?
I mean, actually, is because I'm using a lot. I mean, I'm using a lot of custom for not custom but very niche component. You should. I mean, I didn't show you that part, but you should actually. When you go to the library, you might have seen all the global libraries actually here, and this is actually all searchable field. So if you look for something that's common, you actually have the list of what is. Sorry, it's not showing. What's happening? Sorry about that. I didn't know it was not displaying. All right, sorry. So yeah, when you go to the active library and you type whatever you're searching, you actually those are the global libraries. So you should check if it's already in the global libraries, of course, beforehand. But I mean, yes, that was implied. Yes, of course. Yes.
My question is, are you also planning to include spice models for ngSpice?
I would love to. Yes, that's the next step to search automatically search the spice models. I know that for a lot of components they're readily available. Some others there's not, so under NDA or things like this, so you need to import it yourself. But that's definitely next steps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. But yeah, I'll do that soon. I'll probably do that in 1 or 2 months. Other questions?
Yeah, so I saw that you were importing the symbol as well. In the case of SCSC, I'm guessing you get that from the that web symbol viewer. And do you do any post-processing after that? Because I saw that, for example, for that op-amp, you had the op-amp symbol and then a block that had just a bunch of NC pins.
What do you mean? What kind of post-processing do you have in mind?
Well, I was thinking, maybe like if the pins are, of no connect type, then you could, hide them, mark them as no connect.
Great question. And then, that comes down to, I mean, I don't check anything, and I know that when you download them, usually they are not properly configured. That's almost always the case. I would love to have, when you pass the datasheet, when the datasheet is properly passed, you know how each pin should be, and you reconfigured based on that. That's, I refer you to this morning, the datasheet parsing, because that's going to be the biggest challenge to do this. But that would be an amazing feature, yes.
Another thing is, when you have the libraries, a nice feature would be to look in which product you already have this part. And a quite common way in a lot of companies is that they define an internal part number, and then under the internal part number you have a list of replacement parts that are normally usable. Just go and put it in the device, so that if we have a manufacturer, he has a list, and if we for some reason cannot get part number A, he can automatically say, okay, this part is also allowed. So perhaps it would be possible to somehow see this also.
Okay, it is the first time I'm hearing this. I really don't work in those settings, so it's super interesting. Definitely, please let me know how you think that could be useful, and then if there's any implementation that could be useful, because I'm trying to figure this in my head, and it's super interesting. Yes. Okay.
Can your tool also search for errata sheets and application notes and product change notifications of components and integrate this? For example, in the data sheet, a pin is declared as not connected. In the errata sheet, it says never ever think about connecting this pin. So this pin has to get another attribute in the symbol.
I would love to. I don't know either a database where you can actually find all those information, or is all manufacturer specific? Is there a database where you can find all component information, or it's all manufacturers that publish it and you need to dig for it. You need to dig for the information yourself when when you use a component. Do you need to find all this information yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, usually the manufacturers have on their page for a certain component also chapter with errata sheets. And but if you search for this component and find it, for example, at JLC, PCB, or LCSC, or any other distributor, they usually don't have these errata sheets. So it would be an interesting step if the tool can also say, oh, I searched for the manufacturer and I found it, and I found the information that there is an errata sheet, and the errata sheet introduces a change in the symbol for pin 5.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's that could be a great feature, yes. I didn't think about it, but I love it. I really like it, yes. Hmm? No more questions? Oh yeah, sorry. Is running.
Can you show where you store the data sheets after downloading the project in GitLab? Is there a folder with data sheets, or what's your file structure?
Yes, in the well, how can I show you? Just give me one. Let me see. Yes. Sorry, let me just look at the path. I don't. Let's see if you go here. No, not this part. Yes, when you go into the project, you have a data sheet for. Sorry. Yes, I mean. Oh, you couldn't see? All right. So that's actually how it gets stored in over there. I mean, you can see in the repo it also tells you actually where you pull it from. Just because if you change the data sheet, it actually it's that you know which one you're actually using and where it comes from. You keep the origin of it. See, for instance, this one was probably a bit hard to find. I don't know, but yeah, I couldn't download it from analog, so people. What's happening?
No?
Wait, what's happened? Is it? Yes, is it working? Is it better? Yeah. All right, but I think that's how the data sheet gets stored, and it's the same system for each project manually also, so that you kind of have that duplicates of both. Yeah. Yes, one more.
Look at the manufacturer and on the
I think that's a very good example. That's really annoying. And then, this data sheet, you see the default, I think I searched it several times. It downloaded from SparkFun, or I know from where. Once I downloaded from analog, but yes, I mean, they shouldn't ban it. On the other hand, it's very, very simple crawling, so it shouldn't ban it, but we'll see if it gets to there. Maybe I should go on to the next presentation, which is going to be even shorter. Yes, so I'll go quickly onto this one. Something about simulations. All right. Another part that I did, the whole idea is, well, to, now that ngSpice is, all right, let's get directly to this. Now that ngSpice is integrated into KiCad, I think it's amazing, and you can go towards having exactly the same schematics than the one that gets simulated. You don't have any drift, and then I can think of some cases like, I don't know, there was a 50K resistor that for cost reason was changed to 47. Does that actually affect my simulation or not? That's not the thing that should be checked manually. It should be, switching between different schematics. One that is for simulation, the other one that is for that is for production, I think it's not exactly something useful. And I love the fact that, you know, everything is possible together. There's been some tricks right now to kind of have several simulations into the same sheets. If you simulate the same set of components, there's no problem. But if you simulate different sets of components or with different components, that's a little bit more tricky. So that's well, I think that's basically what I described. So the way I did it with AmpereBrain, there's the group selection. I'll present you. I'm not gonna go into the details. But the whole idea is that, you know, there's this rectangle grouping for subcircuits. You go into the software, you select which one should be activated, which one shouldn't be activated. You have your workbook file that actually contains the spice of the simulation that you need for your simulation, and then you can just, you know, exclude, include whatever you need on the spot. Let's go to the demo super quickly. So if I go onto this project that you've seen earlier, let's say I want to simulate my basic whole end source. Sorry, it keeps on. Thank you. It keeps on switching between the two when I go in presentation mode. So that's why. Here it is. So when you're in the simulation tab, available simulations, that's all your workbook files that are in your project folder. And then you select what you want to include or exclude. So in this case, I just want to include this one. I apply the changes. You go back to KiCad, and you can see that in my measurement subsheets, everything that's related to that integrated part is deactivated. Everything that's related to the improved one that I selected actually works. Well, actually works. Is not excluded, is included from the simulation. You go to the simulation tab and you have the result of your simulation. That's one thing. You can see that this is all the simulation, well, not all of it actually, but here this is some simulation stuff that is being added. What also is meant for you know, that is kind of obvious, but things like DNPs or test points, I know that by default they don't get excluded from simulations, so it kind of go after that and exclude all those well, things that don't impact the spice simulation you should be running. So it just excludes everything so that you can quickly get the simulation you're actually running. So that's that's kind of the multi-sim aspect that I give. On the other hand, if you want to see how, if I select the other one, it's gonna, did I change something? No. I probably made a change. Yes. Oh, interesting. Why did it open it twice? Maybe just, I didn't change what I wanted. So, exclude all, I want the integrated. I apply the changes. I open back his schema because, yes. And then you can see it's the other sheets that's being included. So we can very quickly simulate whatever is, whatever you want on your schematic. So, yeah. Well, first of all, do you have any question on that part? Because I think that was the fast part of my talk. Yes. I mean, maybe let me ask a question. Do you actually use, do you use simulations already? Do you use ngSpice into KiCad? All of you? Or who uses ngSpice already? Not that many. Okay, yeah, interesting. So, well, it's a good tool for spice simulation. My idea about having ngSpice directly into that is that we can go into well, how can I say, what in software development we would call test-driven development, where we can test everything. I don't think a lot of people really do that much spice. So, well, that's a little bit what's gonna go next. I also want to build a UI for if you want to use a signal integrity simulation with with Ibis, because right now it's a little bit tricky to use in KiCad. The UI is not that convenient. Yes, I want to make spice simulation easy. Like you can just ask, and that's where the AI comes in. But you can just ask, all right, I want to test that my response. I don't know what you want to test, but I don't know my DC point when I run this filter is actually where I expect it. You can just write that into text, and then your workbook file is going to be done automatically, because it's not that complex, but still it's Spice. And if you can avoid having to go through menus, remembering how the Spice language work, that's all the better. So that's kind of where I'm aiming with that simulation aspect of AmpereBrain. So yes, and later post layout and then this kind of thing, but that's the vision longer down the drain. All right, any question? Otherwise, yes, wait, someone's running.
It was a little hard to follow what was going on when you kind of created the simulation environments. Can you elaborate a little more on that again?
Do you know how simulation works in KiCad? The idea of the workbook files. Yeah. Yes. All right. So the idea that you can just very quickly switch between the different workbook files and select different component set. It's as simple as that. The software just divides things by subcomponent, by modules, and based on the submodules you deactivate them for the simulation.
Okay. Wouldn't it be a neat feature to have in the KiCad suite itself rather than an external program doing that?
I'm doing things to fix what I think is useful. I would love everything that's here to be included in KiCad. I mean, I'm developing it because I have the need for it. I would love them to be in KiCad. That's for sure.
Okay, I have one more question. Do you find yourself experienced in simulations, and do you have experience with other simulation tools? And how would you compare like the KiCad solution to other tools on the market for the same purpose?
I know there's some bit more modern tool for Spice, but I also know that most people use Spice. I mean, it's a software for another era. So, I like to have it accessible from KiCad. I think that's the right way to go. That's for sure.
On a similar vein, this is the third talk. I'm still not really sure what AmpereBrain is. Is this an external software? It's an alternative project manager? Is it open source? Is it a Windows software? Or
yeah, I mean, it's meant to be multi-platform for sure. There's no doubt about that. I honestly don't know how to define it. I built that tool so that something that would fix what I would need from KiCad. What it is right now is that, if you want to onboard onto the development of it, please do. I don't plan it to be fully open source, probably part of it. Of course, it's going to be free for most of it. Maybe some very crazy features could be paid. I don't know. I really don't know today. Once again, it's a brand new project. So I don't know where it's gonna lead. So that's the idea. But yeah, is it a project manager? Yeah, it comes on top of KiCad. You see, the KiCad instances are managed from there. So
can you please show how to select which parts are included in the simulation and where this selection is being stored?
The whole idea of the selection is that it's those rectangles that you have in when you draw a rectangle, automatically it's going to look if there's a title around it. In that case, there is a title. So that's why when you look into the software, those are the full sheets and those are the titles of your blocks. That's how it works. Like this. They get extruded by default. Well, they always get extruded at the moment. Yes. Everything that is, DNP, test point, fiducials, or mechanical point out. Simple. Not necessarily the best way, but it works. All right. Thank you very much.